Oh, Vegas! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for Unlikely with Adrian Hernandez and feel the power.
Yes, indeed. Welcome inside Unlikely. Adrian Hernandez here, of course, fresh off the Royal Rumble. And before we get into this interview with the one, the only, in studio, in person, the WWE Hall of Famer, the Lucha Libre legend, Rey Mysterio. Shout out to my son in the background right now. I just wanted to take a second before we get into the interview. Hold on, Sire. What do you want to say?
Hi, my name's Sire. I'm from Las Vegas.
Your name is not from Las Vegas. We're keeping all that in. Before we get into the interview, I just want to say thank you. There has been like a bump in some of the views, some of the listeners, some of the traction that we've gotten on social media, fresh off the Royal Rumble, which was humongous for us. And again, I've said it a couple times on previous episodes. I'm going to say it again. You have a million options to get your wrestling content, especially now that, what did The Rock say last year? He said wrestling is cool again. Netflix, this boom period, this Triple H, Netflix era, whatever you want to call it, shit's popping out here. And there's a lot of different sources, mainstream to WrestleFucks.com, that you could get your info from. I say all that to say, for you to spend a second with us and rocking with us and what we're doing over here, whether it's here on the podcast feed, on social media, and on YouTube. Just wanted to say thank you for that. And if you have a wrestling fan in your life that isn't tuned in, isn't connected with us, try to make that happen for us. It's greatly appreciated. All right? That's all I got to say. Let's get to it. The WWE Hall of Famer, Rey Mysterio. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Yo, it's Unlikely, and on 98.5 KLUC Vegas, it is WrestleMania season officially. WrestleMania tickets are on sale on Ticketmaster. Plus, it's not just WrestleMania. You got WWE World for 5 days of amazingness. You got SmackDown. You got NXT. You got Raw. We got a Hall of Fame. Those tickets are on sale. Those events are going to be at T-Mobile Arena. You can go get those tickets, including a combo. Just get them all at once at access.com. And here to talk about all of it is the legend, the WWE Hall of Famer, and a returning guest, Rey Mysterio. Rey, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. Been up early this morning promoting WrestleMania. It's right around the corner, man. It's going to creep up on us. Next thing you know, it's here.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I remember when the announcement was made, and now we're less than 80 days away from the event. And, before we start getting into WrestleMania, I was lucky enough to be at the Royal Rumble covering it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think we'd start off the interview shouting out Lucha Underground, but let's just do that and shout out to Lucha Underground, because when you talk about your career, you just added another moment to your career. You and Penta kicking off the Royal Rumble. Yeah. How did that feel, the energy in that stadium with that standing ovation?
Man, it was intense. It was a really special moment, not only for us, but for Lucha Libre itself, for our people that we represent. The fact that after 40 plus years, the first Royal Rumble kicks off with two Mexicanos. I mean, I get chills just thinking about it. So it's a very, very special moment. Not to mention, Andrade came in afterwards. Santos Escobar came in as well. So within that first 8 minutes, you had 5 Latinos that were going at it, man, which is cool. Representation of Lucha Libre.
And I think my favorite part about that was, again, you two guys get in the ring and 70,000 people in this stadium at Lucas Oil Stadium giving you guys that standing ovation was absolutely incredible. Beautiful. And obviously there's a lot of fans that know the history of not only you and Penta and kind of his journey, but now that he is on WWE television, if you could clarify, is that a match that you want to have on this WWE stage, and is he someone that is world champion caliber?
Most definitely. Yes to both questions. That is a match that I definitely would love to have. I had it in Mexico, in AAA. I had it in Lucha Underground. So I would really love to have it once again here in WWE. Is he world champion caliber? Of course he is. And I think he proved it from the moment he stepped in here. You know, he already has his fan base, not to mention what he's going to accumulate in the next plus years, whatever he decides to continue his career, because it's going to end here. Once you're here, you can't go anywhere else. This is it. This is home. So I'm looking forward to see his destiny. I'm excited for him, and I can't wait to step in the ring to have a singles match with him as well, or even if we team up.
Hey, it's an incredible thing, and the thing I love about your answer, you talk about the Royal Rumble and kind of how all the luchadors kind of kicked off the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
There was some that weren't even in the match. You got Dragon Lee, you have others in NXT. We haven't talked about the women's division. Like when you talk about Latinos in the WWE, hell, even shout out to Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Is there? I always wondered this. Do you ever have these conversations? Because it always seems like WWE is trying to get someone to follow you up. You know what I'm saying, to kind of represent Latinos, and Penta kind of talked about like, hey, I'm trying to be Penta. I can't follow Ray. Do you ever have these conversations to kind of be like, no, be yourself?
Only when they ask me, not coming from me. But back to the comment you just made right now, I mentioned that Saturday, actually Friday, I was doing some media prior to the Rumble, and I love Penta's answer. The fact that they asked him if he saw himself as the next Rey Mysterio, and he said, there will never be another Rey Mysterio. There's only one Rey Mysterio. I want to be the first Penta. And he's correct. You know, I don't think you can ever duplicate another persona. You know, there's going to be only one Eddie, one Brock, you know, and you name it. The list goes on and on. The fact that Penta understood that from the moment he stepped here, you know, is incredible. Now he's creating his own journey. Hey, I got to say the same thing about my son. Walking in my shoes had to have been the hardest thing he's ever done. But the fact that we're so detached, it's like that umbilical cord has been snatched. He's his own entity now, which is so cool, you know?
No, and it's incredible. And, you know, WrestleMania coming here to Vegas, you know, people around the station, everyone knows that I am the wrestling guy. Mm-hmm. And I tried to tell people, I was like, we just had the Super Bowl here. Vegas, we are the entertainment, we are the sports capital of the world. You guys are not going to understand how wrestling is going to take over WrestleMania here in Las Vegas in that entire week. And you look at the hype, 70,000 for the Royal Rumble in a football stadium, the Netflix deal that just kicked off. How does it feel to see this, like all of this happening all at once?
It amazes me that we waited so long, because we did WrestleMania 10 in 1993 at Caesar's Palace, and 31 years later, here we are. But it's almost like it's the right timing. It's the perfect time. Netflix deal with WWE, and the growth of the city of Las Vegas, who has now adopted me for the past 4 years.
Mayor of Vegas.
Their team, their NFL team, the Raiders, they have future plans on bringing MLB over here as well, NBA as well. So the growth is starting to show little by little. This is going to be a big boom, man. I really can't wait. The fact that I'm not in San Diego anymore for the time being. I still go back and forth. I have a lot of family. But in reality, were they ever going to do a WrestleMania in San Diego? Man, probably not. So I'm kind of happy that we're doing it here, which is my home right now.
It's a 50-minute flight, one of the best flights in the world, brother. And you talk about WrestleMania. For you, one of the things that everyone looks forward to is your fits are always correct for WrestleMania. Your entrances have always been iconic, and I want to specifically talk about the one you had a few years ago in LA at SoFi Stadium with Snoop Dogg. My favorite part is as you guys drove by with the lowrider was the game is to be told, not to be sold. Can you talk to me how that came to be?
Well, were you talking about
the Snoop Dogg entrance? WrestleMania 39.
Oh my God! So that was all. It was all magic for me. I had no idea what was going down until rehearsal time. And when I saw the rehearsal and they told me who, I was like, really? This is like I'm part of this, Snoop. I'm walking out with Unc Snoop. It was crazy, man. I was already in another mindset. The fact that I was going to wrestle my son, my nerves were at 100%. You have no idea. I was nervous for myself. I was nervous for my son. I was nervous that I had a lot of family there. Just that everything turned out the way that you envision it, but Snoop gave me that sense of calmness, man. Just stepping into the whip with him and just making that short entrance, those 3 mixed songs together is historical, man. That's legendary for me.
I forgot about that. I forgot about how the music mixed into the...
Nah, 1, 2, 3.
And, your other fits, like when it comes to WrestleMania, I remember the Joker. You got the Captain America. WrestleMania, was it 19 with the Daredevil?
Yep.
Are you talking to Marvel? How long does this take to like from idea to actually making it?
Actually, WWE had to shut me down for a minute because I was getting too exaggerated. I was like, it's my logo. I'm just using their colors, and maybe Captain America, maybe a star here, the gloves, but I don't change anything. With this outfit, I have a pretty dope idea that I want to put into work that I'm hoping that I'm able to bust it out. But overall, it's always been inspirational. When I did the first one, I was in AAA, and it was I did a Superman outfit, and it was just like I used to wear tights and trunks over the tights. That's how it was back in the day, and the logo on the trunks had like the Superman logo with a question mark and the colors, and I just wore a red little cape. So it kind of people got what I was trying to do. And then Batman, then Spider-Man, then I just carried that with me to WWE until they told me, hey, maybe you got to stop a little bit because we're getting cease and desist letters from
Oh, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Again, I want to remind people you can go get tickets. T-Mobile is going to be hosting SmackDown, NXT Stand and Deliver, and of course Monday Night Raw. You can get those tickets at access.com. WWE World tickets are on sale, and also of course WrestleMania 41. You got Saturday night, you got Sunday night. You can get those tickets at Ticketmaster. And I want to circle back to something I talked to you about, kind of the hype and the popularity where WWE's at. Some people call it the Triple H era, some people call it the Netflix era, but this is what we see on the outside.
Right.
When you talk about the locker room and just everyone that's backstage putting this on, what is the difference in attitude from these eras that you've been in?
It's definitely a new generation. We've always been about creating great content and being able to keep the fans happy, because that's what makes this machine go round and round. It keeps it pumping. So we're all on work mode, 24/7, man. You don't have a lot of testosterone running around the locker room, trying to impose their ideas, and it's a pretty open-minded locker room. We like to help each other out. I'm probably one of the last OGs in the locker room. I don't think there's anybody that's older that's part of the locker room right now. So I'm on my way out. I'm just blessed that I'm able to see the transition and see where it's going now. It's very different, but it's different in its own way, and it's for the best. And you can see the product. The final product is what really is where the answer's at.
No, 100%. And you talk about you being on your way out, and you've documented kind of the surgeries and the things you're doing to get yourself ready in the ring. You're timeless, but I am curious, when you think of sports greats, you think of the Derek Jeters, the Tim Duncans, the John Cenas, who kind of said, hey, this is my final year. This is my last season. Is that something that you want to do? Do you want that last match to be known that last year? Or is it like, I'm going to just walk into the sunset when I want to go at peace?
No, I would love to make an announcement. I would love for the fans that have grown up watching me or that have supported my career, from day one, which there's still many around, to be able to say, hey, this is his last time I'm going to get to see him perform. I want to go take a look at it, So I want to give the opportunity to those fans that have been loyal from day one. Prior to that, I would think, I'm just gonna retire one day, but it's a hard thing to do when you start thinking about it. It's like, man, and I know that time is a lot closer than it was yesterday. So I gotta prep myself up mentally, and I do that slowly, especially right now that Cena's doing his last run. I'm kind of looking at him and trying to get that understanding of what it feels like. Obviously, he's going into Hollywood. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's got a great thing going on. For me, you know, I've always loved and only done wrestling. So once I leave wrestling, I think about what am I going to do next.
And what's that transition and being at peace with it. Before we close out this interview, you know, I try to ask questions that people want to know, but I'm going to be selfish. These are things that I've always wanted to know. And some of them are kind of internet myths. So I want to just clear them up here and get them documented here on camera. What do you tell kids when you give them the mask in your entrance? In general terms.
Yeah. No, usually it'll be something different every time. But if I have a match for a title, I would give them the headbutt, and I would tell them, we're going to win. We're going to take this title home tonight, okay? Let's do it. Boom. Out we go.
There it is.
Depends what type of adrenaline mood I'm in at that time during the walkway, that whatever feels in the moment, I preach it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is the 619 was the first time you used it in WWE?
I want to say I used it before WWE. I was already doing it before. So a good friend of mine, and he's a wrestler from Mexico, Damien 666.
Yes.
He was the one that told me, yo, I saw somebody do something like this. What if you put the guy against the ropes? Because I would always do the tiger mask move.
Yeah.
Or Super Astro was the first guy I saw it, and then of course I knew it was invented by Tiger Mask. So Damien gave me the idea of putting my opponent across. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And when I came into WWE and I had to have like a patent finishing move, I was like, well, that's it. And we'll name it 619, going off of Austin 316.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What is the thing you remember the most of the internet cult classic that always goes viral whenever the clip gets played? The triple threat you had with you, Eddie, and CM Punk.
I love it. I go every time it pops up on my feed, I'll sit down and watch it again and again and again. So it was just such a special moment I think for all of us. Punk had no idea he was eventually going to be part of WWE. Obviously, that's where he wanted to go. Eddie had gotten released and was on his way back to WWE, and I was getting ready to sign with WWE. So there's a really cool back history to that, you know, prior to, or actually after that match happened. And then we obviously met again later on.
The stars aligned as they should.
Yeah.
Did you feel a certain way, as I did, and plenty of fans, when you won the WWE title and they couldn't even let you hold it for a week?
Oh my God.
You're like, we can't push this to Raw next week?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be straight up, and I acknowledge this, and I accept it. I've never been a promo guy. Like I'm not the type that can. My attraction with my fans has always been what I bring to the ring, and I recognize that. I've never, I've given the mic to speak on it, but it's never been like my strong point at all. So I think when you carry the company in that way, you have to be good on the mic. And that's something that I never really strived to work on, which I don't regret, because there's no regrets in my life. But I wish I would have just worked a little harder to try and make that happen, and paid more attention to my character, not just focused on performing for the fans. At the end of the day, the love that I get around the world from the fans, from just what I have brought into the table, is more than enough.
It's incredible. And you talk about these unprecedented times and the hype of WWE. It comes with things that I didn't think would ever be possible. I think it was announced within the month that the TNA and WWE partnership is a thing. If I stand correct, You've never wrestled in a TNA ring, correct?
Never, and I was very close when I left in 2014. For some reason, it wasn't manageable, but I did go back to AAA, and of course, I went to Lucha Underground. But I've always been loyal to WWE here on the American side or the U.S. Yeah.
So I think that might be something we might need to cross off the bucket list.
Why not, right?
And Ray, we're going to close out with this because I need to know the history of this. And you posted this on your Instagram about 2 weeks ago. I got this printed. I think I'm Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show with props. I want to know the history of this picture because honestly, dog, this might be an album cover. You wished R-Truth. You wished R-Truth a happy birthday.
That's dope.
Can I get the history of this photo and the relationship with Truth, the legend himself?
So obviously, when we were at war with Iraq, we would do tribute to the troops, and it was an optional thing. So they gave you the opportunity. Whoever volunteered and wanted to go wrestle and hang out with the troops to boost up morale. Obviously, we were out there with the troops that year. We had a blast every single time, man. We were like at a candy store, with the troops, letting us shoot the guns, take a look at what they were doing, like giving us routine Blackhawks. It's just insane. A perspective that you will never get anywhere else being in war, without the shooting. But overall, it was incredible memories. So these pictures were given to me. I saw them. I remember telling Truth, yo, dog, I got those pictures that we took in Iraq. He goes, what pictures? Obviously, I had showed them to him, never sent them, and then I posted it. He goes, dog, I love him. Yeah. You see the date on here?
Yo, that says, January 1st, 2007.
How crazy is that?
That's great. Yo, that was the best birthday message he got on IG. That's insane.
Man, that's awesome.
He can put that right next to his picture with Tupac. There you go.
Yes,
the photography is nuts. But Ray, seriously, thank you. We call this show Unlikely because we get opportunities that people wouldn't think. And this is one of them. Again, WrestleMania 41 tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com. You've got a plethora of events. SmackDown, Raw, NXT Stand and Deliver. You can get the combo tickets at Access.com. And WWE World. WrestleMania is here, Vegas. Ray, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. See you at Mania.